Hey everyone, tomorrow starts a grand adventure and I hope you come along. Hi everyone, I'm Carol and you're watching CAROL-WDWAO. Obviously, my adventure has something to do with Disney World. Now normally when I make my trip announcements, usually I'm at the lake in a bathing suit. You can see the weather behind me and it actually has just stopped snowing. It was coming down like gangbusters. Tomorrow, fingers crossed, we will be at Disney World with the WDWAO team. We've got Dan and David coming from England. We have Jackie coming from Indiana. Sarah, I'm not sure where she lives. I think Nikki is local, but I'm not sure. Lee obviously is joining me. Dawn may pop her head in, and a few other locals may come to join us. So that's the big news of the trip. Airlines are still in a little bit of a tizzy. There have been some delays. Our first plan with the group is to meet at Haleo in Disney Springs. Here's where the fun begins. We have a direct flight from Syracuse to Orlando. That should be in our favor. Right now, we leave at 9:44, arrive at 12:44. We have a 3:30 lunch reservation with the group. Any delay is going to be a problem. Got to land at the airport. We're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge this time, a little treat to ourselves. And on a girls' trip, it's easier to swing something like that because we're splitting the cost. Drop off our luggage and get over to Disney Springs. Now, I am not that much of an optimist that I don't have backup plans. I also made reservations for 6 p.m. at Haleo, but it would just be Lee and I, and we'd miss out seeing the group. Backup plans are always beneficial. Let me tell you some of the exciting things that we're going to do. Well, first of all, just being with Dan and David is always a hoot because you never know what comes out of Dan's mouth. David tries to rein him in, but it's Dan. If you're a member of the WDWAO Facebook group, you sort of know Dan and sort of know what he can get up to. I would ask if you're watching this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps boost my content and makes me feel like I'm doing something worthwhile, so I really do appreciate that. We'll arrive Monday, hopefully early afternoon, have lunch. We'll head back, get settled in our room. Because we're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, we have extended hours at Epcot. That's 9:30 to 11:30. This is the Christmas party season, and I really want to see Starlight Parade. I only have 3 chances to do that. The first being tomorrow. So I'm hoping I can sneak over to Magic Kingdom, watch the parade, and then head over to Epcot for the extended hours. To get to my 9:44 flight, that means I'm up at 5 a.m. So we'll see how my stamina lasts. Whether Lee joins me or not, I don't know. On Tuesday, we're going to see Jordan Fisher at the Candlelight Processional. We're doing a lunch at Le Cellier with Anne-Marie and Tina. At least we'll get to see them once this trip. Our plans are sort of not together this time. Trying to get everybody together just didn't work out. But at least we'll get to see them once, and they're a bunch of fun. After lunch, we meet the group at Geo 82 for our first time there. Now, probably not going to sample any food since we've just had lunch at Le Cellier, but I will get to try some of those drinks that look delicious on the menu. We're doing the 6:45 show for Candlelight Processional, so we can stay and watch Luminous after that before we head back to our resort. Wednesday, extended hours at Animal Kingdom. They usually don't do extended hours at Animal Kingdom unless you've got the Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios parties going on. So to get that extra extended hours in there, they do it at Animal Kingdom. That's going to definitely be an Animal Kingdom day. I do have breakfast booked at BOMA on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll do it one of the 2 days. That will be up to Lee. But we are doing Savor the Savannah. I've done it twice now. I've done it once with Lee, once with Fran. Dan and David have not done it. I believe Jackie is also going to be there in our group. So I feel sorry for the poor cast members. You're just going to watch that one because I just can imagine how that's going to go when you involve us, animals, a charcuterie, and beer and wine. That's going to be epic, I can tell you right now. Now I do have another chance to see Starlight. Extra hours are only to 8, so I might hop over to Magic Kingdom and see that after the extra hours at Animal Kingdom. There's really not a lot to do at the extra hours because the animals do go to sleep earlier, their normal time, but we'll be able to see Pandora and the Tree of Life in all its Christmas finery. Thursday, I'm going to start out the day at Animal Kingdom. Lee is not an early riser. I will rope drop, meet her for breakfast at BOMA if we didn't do it the day before. Then we'll head over to Magic Kingdom where we'll meet the group again to go to Beak and Barrel for the first time. I'm really excited to try that. All the good things I've heard about it. Drinks haven't been tops on the recommendation, but the atmosphere is really fun. We'll see how that goes. Here's where things get a little iffy. The one thing I was not able to book was the wine tasting with George of Wine Bar George. I made my reservations for dinner, and we decided to do Morimoto Thursday night instead of a Saturday, thinking the holiday crowds at Disney Springs, Saturday would be a madhouse, and Thursday would be better to go. Here's a little bit of advice. Always keep checking back, because the calendar showed that they weren't even doing a wine tasting in December. So I pretty much resigned myself. Now, he normally does it Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, and he alternates. Some weeks there's 2 times, some weeks there's 1, some weeks there's none. So I pretty much resigned myself that I can't book a thing that isn't bookable. It's not that it was sold out and somebody might cancel, it just wasn't there. But I kept checking. Just the other day, all of a sudden there was a reservation. Tuesday and Saturday. Now Tuesday was totally booked up with Candlelight Processional, but Saturday we really didn't have much going on that I couldn't shift around. So we are going to Wine Bar George for George's wine tasting. It is phenomenal. I went by myself a couple months ago. This will be Lee's first time. I hope she enjoys it as much as I do, and I hope you enjoy it as much as well. I really learned a lot about wine, and I thought I knew a little bit about wine coming from the Finger Lakes region in New York State, where there's hundreds of wineries around us. But I learned so much. Now the problem is, if I hadn't canceled my dinner at Morimoto on Saturday, we could have done the wine tasting at 3 and dinner at 6 like I had previously arranged before I was stupid and changed it to Thursday, and now nothing's available. As it stands, because I am going to keep checking, because you never know if somebody's going to cancel. As it stands, we're doing Morimoto on Thursday, and then Saturday after the wine tasting, we'll do Amari. If I can switch those 2 up, it would be fantastic. Not that I don't want to go to Disney Springs 3 times, but there's a lot of time lost in transportation going back and forth to Disney Springs. The buses out of Disney Springs are not great. That's the most I've ever waited to get a bus back to my resort. And sometimes we've just hopped on a bus to whatever resort and then gone through the park and back to a resort because it's actually been faster than waiting 45 minutes for a bus. Friday is a Hollywood Studios day. That's probably the only day I'm going to book a multi-pass because we're actually there for most of the day instead of hopping around to different parks for Beacon Barrel or GO82 or whatever's going on. And then Friday night, we are really treating ourselves this trip. I must say, this is why I'm saying it's going to be epic, because we're doing the best of the best this trip. Friday night, dinner at Monsieur Paul. Again, I've eaten there twice, once with Lee, who's a foodie, and so we definitely appreciate the ambiance, the quality of food, their presentation. And once with my husband, who the first time he went to Monsieur Paul said, can we stop at McDonald's after so I can get something to eat? Okay, so two extremes there. Going back with Lee, and this will be Jackie's first time. I can't wait to see what she thinks about it because she's really wanted to go for a long time. But her father is a picky eater, so she's never been able to do it. Three Musketeers at Monsieur Paul. That should be fabulous as well. Already told you about Saturday. Wine tasting with Wine Bar George. Fabulous experience. Saturday night is another possibility to see the Starlight Parade if I haven't done so. Right now we have dinner at Amari, so it wouldn't be bad to take the boat back to one of the hotels and then hop over to Magic Kingdom to see that. Now if I do switch to Morimoto, that makes that a little more difficult. But we could hopefully Monday or Wednesday get to see it. One day left, and that is Sunday. Sunday fun day. We meet the gang for dinner at the Diamond Horseshoe. In all my years, I've never eaten there. I've eaten at Liberty Tree Tavern. The menu is supposed to be very similar. Diamond Horseshoe is not open all the time, I guess. I just haven't been able to catch it, but we're going with a big group there. Then we're going to the Christmas party. One of the reasons we booked that, a year or two ago, we met with Dan and David, Lisa and Bernie, and we went to the Halloween party, which was a blast, by the way. But we came in on the buses, and even though we all had all-day passes so we could go into the park before that 4 p.m. waiting time, and there was a huge line backed up. The cast members held us at that entrance before we could get to the ticket gate, which was on the far left for partygoers who had more than just a party ticket. And they let scads of people go through. We waited, I want to say 15, it was probably 10 minutes. We could have been in the park those 10 minutes. For the Christmas party, last year, I learned my lesson. I booked something at the Grand Floridian. I think it was the Grand Floridian Cafe. But anyways, I was coming down by monorail, and I was by those left side gates, so I could just go in, and I noticed they had that same problem at the right side. We decided to book inside the park so we wouldn't have to deal with that at all. If you are an annual pass holder, or if you have an all-day ticket and going to the Christmas party or Halloween party, my advice is to eat something that you can come around on the monorail in to get on that left side, or eat inside the park, because they will hold you up just for crowd control to get those crowds up and in line, and you're stuck there at the entrance if you came in by a bus. That will be our last night all together. Fabulous night in the parks, I'm sure. We'll see what the weather is. It could be snowy like this. Well, it will be snowy with Disney snow, of course, but it could really be cold or warm. You never know how to dress in December. That's one of the problems. We have a 4 o'clock flight out Monday. I again will rope drop Animal Kingdom, And I rope drop Animal Kingdom on my last day because that's always the earliest park to open, and we're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, so it's a 5-minute bus ride. I'll get most everything I want to do in before Lee's even awake, I would imagine. And then we have lunch at noon at Sanaa, and then we have a 4 o'clock flight. So that's a big description of our trip. It really is going to be a bunch of fun with all the crazy people going. Hopefully Lisa and Bernie will be there as well. I haven't heard if they're coming, but they're a lot of fun. Anne Marie, Tina, Jackie, Nikki, Sarah, Dan, David, Dawn. I don't know if I've left anybody else out. I hope not, but hopefully I could meet some new people along the way who will join our craziness. If you happen to be in the parks this week, please stop by and look for the Crazy Bunch, because we'll be there. I'll have ears on. Dan won't. Now you can see it's starting to come down again. I am still at camp. I have to get out of here tonight to get to the airport tomorrow. We're closing camp today, so turning off all the water, electricity, all that stuff. We're in pretty good shape. But if I get snowed in, that could be a problem. If you've liked this vlog, give it a thumbs up. Please tell your friends, subscribe, leave a comment. If you're not a member of our adult-only Facebook group, WDWAO, please join us there for adult-centered discussions. No strollers, I promise. And last but not least, never grow up.